Hey guys, welcome back. So in today's video, we're going to talk about switch statement. Okay. So what is a switch statement? So let me just give you like a high level overview first, and then we're going to go over this. So switch statement, think of it as like a if else block, except in switch statement, we're comparing a single value multiple times. So some people might say that, if we already have if else, why do we need switch? Well, there are reasons for it, right? If we have one thing that we're comparing, then sometimes using a switch statement is easier than writing if else, like if else if else if else if else if then else. Sometimes it's easier. So there are reasons why we want to do this thing. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started with this so you guys can understand why we are doing this thing. So first thing, let me just go ahead and create a class, right? And we call it, let's call it switch statement. Okay, let's finish it out. Okay, in this, so let's say we want to grade students, right? So let's actually go ahead and again, you can create various variables with this. You can have int, you can have string, you can have char, you can basically have a lot of those things, whatever you want to do. So in this case, I'll show you two examples. Maybe first, let's go ahead with the int, and then maybe we can go with the string afterward as well. So let's just go ahead with this. Let's do int. Let's say we do grade, right? In grade equals, let's say 90. Right? So generally, if we were to write an if statement, we'll basically say if this condition, then print this out as out this, and then we can say else, whatever the condition, if the condition is met, do this, right? Whatever the case is, we do this if else, if else, if else. So there's like a lot of if else that goes in there. But because this is a single value right here that we are comparing, what we can do, and again, we can have, let's say, if it's less than 60, it's fail. So instead of saying if, we can have switch statement where it'll automatically do all those things for us. So how this works, let's say I do switch, right? Switch statement, again, this is usually the thing, switch, then case, then you have break, and then default, and then break as well. Everything goes inside this. Okay, you have the switch statement, this key right here that shows up. This key is this grade. So I'll just put in grade, right? So in this value, I can put in whatever I want to put in. Let's say I put 60, right? Let's say I put 60. And just to keep things easier or more readable, I'm just going to print out like this. So as out. Again, I can also put this on the next line as well. Doesn't really matter, but I'll just put it over here. It just for me, it's easier to read. So I'll do a print line over here, and let's say it says you failed, right? Or you have failed, right? And then obviously you need this break statement. The reason you need the break keyword, it's so once this grade right here, once this condition is met, this will automatically break out of this. Instead of going through this whole thing, it'll automatically break and then go to the end of the block. So, right. So let me just show you again how that works. So let's say a case, right? Let's say that I have 65, right? And then I have s out. And it says, you barely passed, right? And then another break. And then let's say we have case. Let's say we have 75. S out. I could say you got a C, and And why is this happening? And then you do break, right? And let's say you have case. Again, let's just do 90 as out. Let's say it says you got an A. Break. And let's say you have case 100 as out. Let's say you have received 100. Again, and I'm just putting whatever I want. And for the default, I can have S out. I can say undefined grade, something like that, right? That's that. So now, because I have this 90, I'm expecting this thing to print out, you got an A, right? Because that's the case that I have. So I'm comparing this grade with all these things. So instead of writing if else, just more readable and whatnot. So if I was to run this thing, see, it says you got an A. Now, if I was to change this thing to, let's say, 60, right, it should give me the first one where you failed. See, you have failed. If I put 50, it should give me this break statement, right? If I run this, undefined grade, right? So you can play around with this, obviously. So with this, let's actually do another one, but this time let's do it with a string. So I'm just going to do it outside of this. So again, if I hover over here, you can see this switch statement, this all belongs over here, right? I can put the string on the top over here as well, but I'm just going to put it over here just to make it more readable. Let me do this. Let me just close this console so you have more room to work with. Let's say I do string, string. Let's say I do string, right? The string, let's say I do traffic signal equal, I don't need that string. Traffic signal equals, let's say, I say green, right? Now in this, let's do a switch. Again, you have all these different ones, right? So select the switch case statement. Again, it shows you on the right side right here, it shows you a preview of what it is going to show. So select this one, switch case statement. Okay. So you have all these different things. Again, it just shows up just like this first one. There's no difference. On the switch key is this, okay, this thing. So I'm just going to put traffic signal. There you go. Case in here, again, it's a string, right? So put double quotation, and let's say I have red, right? And then I can have S out, you can say stop, right? Obviously, when it's red light, you're not supposed to go. I'm just going to copy this so I don't have to type it up. So let's do this, copy it, paste. Don't worry about the red, it'll go away soon. The reason it's red is because I have red here, red here, right? All the cases are the same. So red, let's say I have yellow, and then green, right? As you can see right there. Now it's no longer there. So yellow, I should probably say go faster, right? But when it's yellow, but let's say it's reality is you should slow down, not go fast. In the green, let's say you put is go, right? It's you don't have to wait anymore, just go. And then for this one, as out, yeah. You can say invalid option or something, right? Whatever the case is, you can say that. And then you're breaking out again. So in this case, because I have green, right, it should give me this option, green. It should say go. So let's run this thing, run Java program. Again, this first one is this thing. So let me just change that back to like 90 so you can see the 90. There you go, you got an A, and then you have this go right here. If I was to change this to red, right, it's it. It says stop. If I was to say whatever I want, right, invalid option, right? Now it's a string, so I cannot really put any number in here, right? It'll just give me that throw an error automatically, right? So it has to be something. If I don't have anything in there, right, just a blank, still it gives me that invalid option. So this default is not necessary to put it here, but it is a good practice to put it there, right? Default code is that if none of these things are here for some reason, this thing will work. So at least you know that your whatever method or whatever program you wrote, it works. It's just that that option may not be available. That's all. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful for you guys, those of you who didn't understand it. Yeah, please don't forget to subscribe, and thank you so much.